Meow, 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 meow. Everybody, I'm Cantonese Cat. Hey everyone, Cantonese Cat here. Give me less than 10 minutes of your time. I want to go through why I'm bullish on Ethereum. This is a monthly chart of Ethereum. A lot of people might get scared for these bearish engulfing candle. All I'm going to say right now is that the bearish engulfing candle is not concerning. During a bull market, having a bearish engulfing candle on the monthly doesn't really mean much. For example, last time you had a bearish engulfing candle was right over here, and this really was the beginning of like the bull market that you're seeing over here for the last year and a half. Sure, you have another candle that went underneath and kind of fill out the wick over here, but next thing you know, everything was just reversed over the next spot, right? So bearish engulfing candle is not necessarily an ominous sign. Another example of a bearish engulfing candle, of course, during a bear market, a bearish engulfing candle is bad, right? I mean, that's because that's the primary trend. But another example of bearish engulfing candle that didn't really work out was here. You know, you have another one over here, but next thing you know, price just reverse over the next few months. No big deal, right? I don't want you to get scared by these. Another bearish engulfing candle over here, and it's just having a lot of bullish continuation here for another half a year. So these are not necessarily anything that you need to get scared about. Matter of fact, it's just forming higher lows and higher highs right now. It's just trying to find a higher low. If anything, it's forming a little bit of a tweezer bottom over here, like a tweezer number 1 and 2 kind of sticking up. These are generally very, very important bottoms. You can see like a fork kind of tweezer over here. These are generally, signifying a pretty important bottom here locally. Sometimes even from the cycle, like the cycle low over here is got a little bit of asymmetric tweezer. If you look at the 2 week, it's going to give you a little better picture over here. You can see a tweezer bottom over here that's also forming here on 2 weeks, right? What happened the last time you have a little bit of a tweezer bottom over here? That's a pretty good bottom. And what happens when you have a tweezer top? That's a pretty good top right there. So I think that we might have been close to bottom, if not already bottom over here. Again, the whole push up here, volume go increasing, and this bull flag over here is on cooldown on declining volume. So this is actually a non-committal move. All it takes for this for a little bit of bullish energy to come in, and next thing you know, the price is going to get a lot higher. If you're going to put the Ichimoku cloud, my favorite indicator, you can see that what price is doing right now is just that it went and pushed through the cloud on increasing volume, and it's basically backtesting the cloud on decreasing volume. So this is a very, very nice bull market behavior over here. And it's backtesting not just the top of the cloud, also backtested the Tikin and the Kijun line over here. And it looks like it bounced from the Kijun to the red line over here, and it's right now all the way back above the Kijun line over here on the 2 week chart. So there's a very, very clear trend as to what it's doing. Now, monthly chart is also going to show you basically the same thing. Price went up, slides through the Ichimoku cloud is not there like butter, and it went a little bit too far too fast, had to back test the top of the cloud once and twice. Not just back to the top of the cloud, but also went back and touched the Tenkan over here on the blue. You had a recently, back in February 2024, you had a bullish Tenkan Kijun cross, TK cross, and that's usually a very important indication that a more sustainable bull market could be coming that can last for like a year or two when it comes on the monthly. And what you're seeing here is it's basically turning the Tenkan from resistance to support, and it just keeps on testing it back in support to push price a lot higher. When price get a little bit too far from the Tenkan, usually things get punished. Usually what ends up happening is you might end up having like way too far, way too fast, or around here, way too far from the Tenkan, right? Price went sideways and actually back test went down to touch the Tenkan before continuation. And we had the same thing happen over here. Price wicked above to like 4,100 and above, a little bit too far from the 2,800 here from the Tenkan, and sure enough, next month it got punished for it, went all the way back down, back testing it for 2 months in a row. I think right now the price action looked very, very similar to what it was back here around August, September, October 2020, because right now price is above both the Tenkan and Kijun on the monthly. Price is above both the Tenkan and Kijun on the monthly. It just had a recent TK cross not long ago. All of this is basically building a ton of energy for it to potentially do some pretty sick parabolic move kind of like this. I like the fact that it's doing the appropriate back testing on the top of the cloud. All of this is very bullish behavior if you just based on traditional technical analysis with Ichimoku cloud. I'm very favorable based on what I'm seeing. If you also look at the Bollinger Band, that's going to give you a little bit of a better idea. But before I do that, I want to pull also the bank of fund flow. Why do I think that area over here is very similar to over here? Is because the whale inflow also is starting to really, really significantly increase over here. Price went sideways, increased whale presence. Next thing you know, you have so much absorbing of the supply that the price just end up pushing a lot higher. You're basically building a very similar scenario over here. Price went sideways for about 4 months, while inflow just keeps on going up, right? I wonder if it's anticipating a potentially a pretty explosive move to go up higher from here. Now, that is the flow indicator. Again, when I was talking about the Bollinger Band, you can see what happened. Price went way too far, went too fast, got above the Bollinger Band here, and it's just way too far, like close two candles above the Bollinger Band. And if it's a healthy bull market behavior, what is going to end up happening is it could close back inside here, cool down inside the Bollinger Band before further extension, right? The same thing happened over here. It closed two candles right above in the, July and August of 2020, and went way too far, way too fast from the Bollinger Band. Bollinger just started to get expanded, and it's not expanding fast enough for price to keep going up, right? So next thing you know, what ended up happening is that you end up getting punished here for another 2 months sideways before some very, very bullish developments just start happening after that, right? We're having a very, very similar look over here. 2 months up, way above the Bollinger Band, close a month below, maybe go another month sideways, maybe not, maybe we just push up from here. And also just the morphology of the 20-month moving average, which is the orange line over here, it really started to turn here from negative sloping to positive sloping just a few months ago. Same thing happened over here, right? They're going from negative sloping to positive sloping just a few months ago. Another thing is you look at a Bollinger Band contraction, right? Contraction, telling you that a big move is coming, followed by expansion, right? Initially expansion, and then you end up having a little bit of a sideways that happened for about a few months. You end up having a little bit of contraction of the squeezing of the band, if you will, having a little bit of squeezing of the band, if you will, just because of this consolidation. But after this consolidation is over, I think Bollinger Band is going to end up like expanding, exploding pretty far, pretty fast. The lower Bollinger Band, I anticipate it to continue to just go all the way down like that, and that's when the real parabolic bull market could start. I really do think that this is going to happen based on what I'm seeing, based on trend, higher highs, higher lows, based on global liquidity, based on the fact that it's squeezed pretty hard and is getting ready for a pretty explosive move up. And where's the direction it's going to go? Is to go up because the Bollinger Band is pointing up, right? Now, if you look at the weekly chart, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the weekly, and this gives you a very, very nice look here. It just bounced off the 20-week moving average, which belongs to a part of the bull market support band. Bull market support band is doing exactly what it says it's going to do. It supports a bull market, and it just keeps on going up. The more it tags it, the more I feel safe. That's probably going to end up push price a lot higher. I think we're very, very similar over here as we were over here. Again, like on the monthly chart is very, very similar. I'm going to pull back here on the monthly. I'll show you what I meant by that. I think we're like over here is very, very similar to over here based on the bull market support band and where it's being positioned. So the bull market support band being tagged, still pointing up, most likely is going to keep pushing price a lot higher. A lot of very similarities over here that I'm seeing. And these are some pretty positive development. I'm going to also take the bull market support band out. I'm going to pull up the RSI here, show you something that's also very positive here. What happens right now is price has gone up a lot over the last couple months, but RSI have gotten completely resetted. Like price was over here was what, like 2,200, and right now price is around 3,000. RSI went from like 58 all the way down to like 57, 56, right? We're no longer in overbought territory. We're already past that. Right now, we're talking about some pretty decent bullish divergence between RSI and price. This is a hidden bullish divergence, but I think you're having a lot more bullish energy for price to continue to potentially push up, which is a very, very positive development. Now, the final thing I want to talk about is if you want to talk about targets. I generally like to refrain talking about targets because I think we're still early. There's no reason to talk about targets because the targets I say right now probably sound crazy, and I'll show you what that is. If you do a top to bottom kind of thing, what you're going to see is you're going to see a lot of these different Fibonacci levels that price generally like to respect, right? Got rejected here is at 0.786, and right now it's finding support at 0.5, and it's just kind of basically bouncing between these couple levels over here. Some of the targets I'm looking at, I'm really looking at for a very, very strong, crazy bull market, at least 1.618, which is around 7,400. there's a potential if things get really parabolic and go hit like the 2.618, 3.618. You're really talking about like a 5-digit number to Ethereum price. Can it go a lot higher? Possibly. The last bull market really actually really wasn't that crazy, but even then, the last bull market it hit like the 3.618 mark pretty nicely, right? Not exactly touching it on the exact dot, but it hit like the 3.618 over here pretty perfectly if you just measure from top to bottom. So it's not unreasonable to expect this particular cycle to hit like 1.618, 2.618, and maybe even 3.618. I think all these things are very much possible. There's some argument that the last cycle might have been truncated because of decreased liquidity. But anyway, I'm talking over 10 minutes now. Thank you so much for your attention. Have a good one. Bye.